pick it up. And
What
then
they
you
throwing
pick
there?
up a
Maybe a Brody?
Wait,
Brody.
carry's still open for Doming.
Okay, Brody.
He had
But
good
there's Farsa, Kaja, and Yuzhong. You don't want to play the carry in that case.
yeah.
So yeah, I think Brody should be the safest one, or something like a Harith, so that. But then you have the Kaja, so I think I think they're left with just the Brody this time.
Yeah, as we see some possibilities to evade a laning stage of a marksman, we're just taking off the choices here of what could be Doming's choice, but it's a carry.
Wow.
Still the carry.
Okay. How is that? I mean, we just talked about it a few seconds ago, and they really have the confidence to push through with this, with a Franco.
What if RSG picks up something like Atlas and then they put the H2 on the Kaja?
Oh, so it's still a flex?
Atlas is great versus all the heroes of NEXPLAY, all things considered.
Okay, could this
No, they
go?
just go to the Martis.
Okay.
So
0% win rate. Wow. Didn't
for
realize
Martis,
that. For Martis.
so it's becoming more of a utility.
Is that real?
I think
Is it
so.
a 0% win rate?
It could be.
Well, yeah, we've
That
seen
should be real. I have not seen any good Martis. I mean, we've seen good Martis, but
the win.
not seen
A Martis where it
Martis
wins.
win.
Yeah.
That kind of blows my my mind here because, you know, Martis is, for a while, was very
Very
dominant.
strong, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
very dominant in terms of, like, especially when you're playing that objective style. He's one of the go-to heroes. But to see that he's got a 0% win rate, man, so far in the season, that is troubling. But obviously, teams are picking him more than for the win rate.
for sure.
Okay, let's see how this brews in the side of for RSG. They're working on utility, they're working on catch, they're working on burst. But for NEXPLAY EVOS, as we foresee the possible consequences, they're still going on with their own flavor. Let's see how this game goes. First tiebreaker of the day. Let's see how NXPE bounces back from this, or RSG would want to have this in a reverse state, going from a pause. Speculating again from the draft. Slowly, let's break it down.
Well, I think we broke a lot of this down here. And specifically across the board, both teams have solid lineups, but one of the biggest question marks for me is, can RSG SLATE Philippines utilize this Kaja pick? Because a lot of the times we see the Kaja being banned out.
Yeah.
It's obviously picked up for a very similar, I would say a very similar purpose where you see a Kadita picked up. You want to get that pick off right away. And it's almost, with a Kaja though, it's almost guaranteed because you're essentially pulling them into your teammate, you know, whereas the Kaditas, sometimes the value there is you can do it by yourself, right? So that is going to be something that's crucial for RSG to take this game 3. Whereas on the other side, NXPE specifically has a lot to work with the lineup they have, but it's protecting Doming.
Well, let's see. It's game number 3. Let's see how this works with NXPE as we try to, well, see and break down the possible threats on what this carry or Doming can get. Let's see how he gets out of this wall, of these problems of RSG can give. Now, early game, let's see how this goes.
Oh, nice little dodge there from the hook, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, biggest thing here is, again, Doming has been questioned so far these past couple weeks. He's been built up a lot in these storylines as well. And the guy's been doing work, right? But now this is even a bigger obstacle ahead of him. Being able to stay alive. You can already see, too, pressure being put there.
Whoa.
Nice iron hook. They're going to get the flicker out from Exort, expending Brusco's flicker as well. So you see, there's a lot of pressure already on these gold laners.
RSG has eyes on possible threat, and those hooks, and if that keeps on going in the side of NEXPLAY EVOS, that's one thing they need to worry about. Since they were lacking in the vision in game number 2, could this be the solution of Brusco to have a payback in there on what lost on that game? Because as we see, they're seeing eyes on gold lane, but on to the EXP lane, this is a great matchup. We have a Lapu Lapu and a Yuzhong.
Oh, right now, this could be troublesome. They do get the flicker out. Wow, H2O able to grab the kill for himself. using that decimate, so able to get that little lead he needs here. Now leading up for that first turtle of the game. He did have to go back to base, so NXPE is going to go ahead and start this one up. Boyet in position alongside Goyang. Goyang not level 4 just yet, though, so doesn't have that ultimate he needs, the copied version. Nas going to charge in with the Black Dragon form. It is secured by Boyet. Now Goyang, we've got 2 dragons traveling together, but objective secured for NXPE.
Still going slowly, and they have their switches back on how to have this team fight going on from mid-game. Now, as the items brewing, we're seeing a bit of hope here for NXPE, and in terms of vision, I think they're slowly answering it by the minute.
Well, breaking it down too, the past couple minutes, this is always the case, right? With a Franco specifically is, can you land those hooks, whether you're utilizing the flicker combination or not. But still, at the end of the day, this early game portion, they're putting so much pressure gold lane. They want to be able to give Domeng that better start, to actually not have to work from like he has in the previous games here. But already, Divine Judgment going to be used on Brusco, taking a couple of shots here, but ultimately going to back off. The rest of the team, though, making their way top side. Everybody knows the information here on exactly what the plan is for NXPE. But there you go. Able to get that Purify out. H2O was just there grabbing his orange buff. It looks like both teams just going to back off for now, except with the Flicker Bloody Hunt combination coming out. Light survives, though, with a Flicker himself. A lot here being expended by both teams' top side.
Super interesting for both teams, as we saw that Light snagged a key target, which was the Franco, and he got away. Then they forced the Purify. I think that the way that NEXPLAY EVOS moved there was actually correct, as they forced Eman to use the Purify. But then going on to Light, I don't think that was the right decision. Once again, they want to go for the tank.
Oh, they're going to find Light, though. So they find a tank, they find Light.
Okay.
So they went back again. Oh, Domeng.
Finally, right? Time after time, they were looking for pressure there against Domeng. And RSG able to grab a kill now. So that is crucial because this next turtle is going to be up here.
Man, with all of the chaos that happened in the middle, nobody from NEXPLAY was communicated that the Farsa was missing, and that was a mistake.
Oh, man, look at that. Nowhere Nance can go here. Did he buy enough time? It's only Light and H2O. It's going to come down to it. H2O able to grab it despite the numbers disadvantage. And RSG able to grab the objective.
No, missing out those turtles now. Pressure to go back in the lanes. But RSG freely rotating and giving pressure as of the moment as to what they do. And if they're up against a carry, they want to give that speed breaks, right? If you're a carry based on time, they're wary of the consequences.
You have to really look at NEXPLAY EVOS, and the moves that they're doing are correct. Nats was taken out. However, for some reason, they still lost the turtle fight, and it's one thing that NEXPLAY EVOS should be taking care of. In game number 1, they won the fight. So they won the turtles even after losing the fight. So they have to rekindle that fire that they were able to get through Boyet's Sakai.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to have it back, because if pin down is concerned, knock up and burst is concerned, all is in check for NXPE, and what they need right now is just to go and give that vision again. How's the items? Is it completely working? Because the goal is not that too far, but I say everybody has small progress, but that is still progress.
The big progress on to Eman for sure, 4.3k. Getting okay, so he went for casual leg blades. That's why his itemization is, kind of delayed a bit. But the fact of the matter is, he still is the richest guy so far in this game, and this Purify is already paying off, getting 1 kill as well. So, to answer your question, Mr. Francis, I think this is looking really good for Eman.
Well, he got back. With the guns right in this Claude pick, so there's a lot of evade, a lot of escape. But how would you escape that?
Oh, they're gonna get locked down here. Light flickers out. Going still on the chase. Gonna be looking for the knock up himself here. They're gonna give up the turret though in the process. So it looks like NXPE is just gonna give that call. They're happy with the objective, but looks like a cross map play, as H2O should be able to just grab this turtle here. Second one of the game.
Cross map objective. Well, who's winning this?
Oh, definitely RSG. You saw them lose their turret up top, sure. But they managed to get one turret soloed by Nats and then the turtle. So you can see the lead that they have inflate to 1.2k. And now the golden staff available for Eman, who actually visited this mid lane for more farm. As RSG is really good at these double lanes for double lane setup for their junglers. So ultimately, RSG are just winning the trades in the early game.
Double lane setup. I say play style and identity showing, right? But now somebody's gone seal here. They might catch one.
They do get the bloody hunt. They find Light. That's a nice pickup. Do they still go for more? Nats with Black Dragon form. Blinds 3. A nice setup there, but he's going to get zoned out with Boyet with a heavy spin before he gets the kill himself. Nats able to survive. Now the feathered airstrike comes down. Ding going to fall. RSG grabbing a turret on top of it, but look at top side. Domeng making moves himself.
At least Domeng is able to farm for himself. He's actually closing the gap between the gold of the gold laners. He is now at 5.2 because of that turtle takedown, and he's just 500 gold away from Eman. The fact of the matter remains, Nat's able to land what? Petrify onto 3. And then he finally gets it. RSG is still winning when it comes to the economy. And they took another important objective, the mid lane turret. You saw in previous games how crucial these mid lane turrets are.
Yes, yes, and that opens up a lot, especially for the jungler of a team that can make or break in the bush of that, right? This gives up coverage and gives up a lot of things. But the player goal right now, Eman is rising, Doming is climbing, but two members are on to the ice and getting those items right. Boyet and Doming.
Man, Doming just the destroyer of turrets right now as he's working on the next one. Tier 2 falls, so they have it on the hands of Domeng. He got the Tier 2 bottom lane, top lane, and this is all now, you know, the Lord is up. So NXP is playing with a little bit of a map advantage. If they can get a pick off here, that should set themselves up for that Lord take as they get this Tier 1 now in the mid lane.
Wow.
Look at that shredding power.
That was actually very crucial for NXPLay. And Doming knowing full well that he can actually put the tower from 100 to 0. That was a lot of knowledge I can get from this guy.
Shredding power. Doming DR is showing up. Now what is this now? Who's going to take this Lord?
Keep an eye on Ding as well. He's going to try to contest this Lord here. It's going to be secured by Boyet. He forces Exord back. Now Boyet on the run. It's Brusco also quite low. The flicker comes out from Goyong. Eman goes in. There's the bloody hunt, but it's not enough. He does fall. Light also on the run with a sliver of health. Not going down. So like that, Brusco does fall, but Lord secured by NXPE.
Oh, with this being said, RSG is going up. But is NXPE going down right now?
I think that's generally good for NextPlay, only losing Brusco. They get the turret in the middle and then the Lord after that gamble. All things considered, NextPlay EVOS shouldn't have... they got more than they should have, I mean. And that meant that they will cut the deficit, maybe even get more gold out of this. And at this point, there's really not much difference between two gold laners. To think that Eman rocks this avarice means that he should be having a little bit more gold compared to Domeng, but after one death on Domeng, he now finds his opening. Might even get more.
Yeah, they're both looking for an opening right now onto the second tier turret. NXPLay EVOS, they need to have this iron hooks landed correctly. But there's still a push up top. Wow. Caging RSG for this one.
Look at this. I mean, the fact that RSG is just losing turret after turret, and a lot of it, again, was on the decisions of Domeng. Now they're defending their base here against this first Lord. They should be able to hold on here. Boyet going to try to zone out H2O. They find the lockdown against the wall. Nasware with the backup. Still looking for the follow-up here. They find Boyet looking for the punish. Eman now unleashing here. Do they still press the situation? Ding going to go back. And now the jump in ensues. Double kill for Exord. Domeng finding H2O, but they're still running for the hills. They can't get away. 3 fall for NXPE.
3 men down for the Neon Tigers, but they still got to push from mid to top. Is this still a good window for NXPE?
Generally, yes. Just getting all of the turrets out. However, they gave so many kills to Eman. And now Eman is just dealing a lot of damage. He's very comfortable. Does have all of the attack speed items that he needs. Fortunately for NEXPLAY EVOS, they did not lose Doming. So that's generally good for them. But they tried their best to take out H2. H2 is just way too tanky at that point. And they lost the fight afterwards. All things considered, I think NEXPLAY EVOS are pretty much happier on what the result was.
Okay, it's not too far. Not too far for them to bounce back, but RSG here, they have ways to evade. They have the ways to deplete or take resources out of NEXPLAY EVOS ultimates. So one thing that they're eyeing on, possibly, is to take this Lord, but in terms of push, they want to clear the waves as well, because that's one thing that NXP is eyeing on, right? Give so much on the plate of RSG that they might choose a different path for them to use. So could this be the bait that NXP wants against RSG?
Could be.
Good positioning right now. RSG, 3 members were pretty much on the top lane.
Bisco showed himself?
Yeah, I think he got spotted out a little bit here.
Yeah.
So the plan there might have been stopped, but still, RSG is still holding 3 members there. They know that purple buff's going to be up too. They might just look for a numbers advantage pickoff, or just taking it. Conceal play going to come out. Light not going to be able to get that Divine Judgment he was looking for. He's going to get bloody hunted. 2 fall there on both sides. Still going to be unleashing. Actually, Goryang survives that. So it's a pretty much a roam for a roam trade.
Yeah.
And now it comes down to this half-health Lord still being juggled by both junglers. Who has the advantage here?
Definitely RSG, because they still have Eman to contest Boyet if ever. But Boyet has been doing a great job getting the aggro of the Lord, pulling it towards their side. And now it's up to the other members and how they will try to fight this. Dangerously low the Lord is.
They're not hitting it, they're just buying time.
Both roamers
And
are
Brusco
here.
is here.
It's
Both
back to
of them.
another
Oh!
full fight. The flicker is going to come in. It was going on with the Divine Judgment copy. Boyet secures the Lord. They get the lockdown they're looking for, but Emon with a blazing duet. There's too much damage to handle. And there you go. The stun comes out, but double kill for Emon. They're still looking for the follow-up, but they're slowed, and they can't get Ding or Domeng.
Wonderful team fighting coming out from RSG. After losing the Lord, they know that they can still fight, and in that cramped up space, Nats was able to maximize his ultimate and his timing and the Petrify as well, hitting on multiple members of NEXPLAY EVOS, forcing Domeng to use the flicker as well. Then Eman goes in. His blazing duet with the wind of nature was perfectly timed, and that broke the formation of NEXPLAY EVOS, and everybody was showering under the bullet raining from Eman.
Amazing layers of damage. Exort sends something.
Oh no, can he juke him out? He did get away for a little bit. Does he go back with BMI? He does. They catch the target. Ding was not ready for that. The jukes, the ankles are broken by Emon.
Wow.
That was a costly one from Ding once again. We did say that NEXPLAY EVOS look good when Ding is comfortable. But in back-to-back games, games number 1 and 2, and even if you consider game number 1, really shut down by NEXPLAY EVOS, it seems like by RSG, it seems like RSG SLATE Philippines really did their homework. Game number 1 was a massive mistake on their end, but now they know how to counter NEXPLAY EVOS. They shut down Ding, they let Boyet, they let Boyet get the turtle, get the lords whatsoever, but they still managed to utilize the team fight to their own advantage. So now having Ding activated in this, specifically as a Lapu-Lapu, which should have been the great answer to both Claude and Farsa.
Yep.
Exort just getting away all the time. Man, he's going to be really feeling real bad about his performance today.
They know how to make NEXPLAY EVOS spread themselves too thinly, because in some points, and from game 1, what they needed was a reset, right? And it seems like now Task Force RSG has eyes on what or who are the playmakers of NEXPLAY EVOS is. And one thing that I noticed in that team fight, in that Lord take, was they weren't able to really sustain and soak up the damage, right? It was still missing. But I'm seeing some way of sustaining it, but it was not yet the time to even hold it. So this checks out. Like, is the damage department working now for NEXTPLAY EVOS to finally have a counter punish in those kinds of team fights, or not?
Counter punch and counter punish is everything, right? But at this point, when you're getting, you know, kind of caught in a misplay or a mistake like that, especially, you know, this point in the game, it's really hard to recover from that because RSG SLATE Philippines will punish you, and that's what they've been doing specifically, and even to Ding, right? But this is on a lot of the times Brusco trying to find those picks, trying to find those lockdowns with the Bloody Hunt, but unfortunately, it just hasn't worked yet. But if they can get in a position to allow Domeng to actually do the damage he needs to on this carry pick, it can be devastating. But look at that. I mean, you know, there's another reason he might have a 0% win rate, but look at that.
Well, that is a good point, Nicey, because right now, Brusco's iron hooks are so crucial that he needs to make a good catch, because that gives out space, damage to isolate RSG. Because in team fighting capabilities, they're really strong. Knockups, 2 people need to worry about. That's H2 and Light. Even Nats, the 3 people that has knockups and a Petrify. How do you even deal with that? And is it plus Exort? 5-0-4 in Magic Worship. He's rocking it right now. Nobody can even go near him. So could they, I'm seeing this a possible way, could they just bait out ultimates the side of RSG because the lead is on their side?
That could be a way. That is genuinely a way for NEXTPLAY EVOS to come back to this. Force the ultimate coming out from Nats. Maybe win the macro battle by utilizing Ding to kind of force and shove the side lanes. So that could be good.
Oh, well, they're going to go and just target H2O, taking the jungler out of the equation. So RSG, they know that happens. It looks like they were trying to put pressure bottom lane, but now this could just end up possibly going to the hands of NXPE. They do have their jungler. He has the retribution here. RSG is going to have to look for some sort of advantage. Domeng waiting on the top side. His positioning is going to be crucial. He might just give it a go to push in. Going to get spotted out, though. Domeng going to be in trouble. Flickers out. Can he get Emon down in time? He can't. But he secures time for NXPE to secure the Lord.
Wait, was that trade worth it? That was Domeng for a Lord, Wolf.
Okay, so at 18 minutes with 30 seconds respawn, and the Lord will be respawning in, what, 7 seconds from now? I think it's okay for NEXTPLAY, but generally, that's not the best decision. Typically, what you sacrifice is an XP laner, for example, but this time it's their gold laner, so
yeah,
I don't think it's totally worth it, especially because the Lord spawned way too quickly.
Yes, those are 2 valid points. And maybe what he was trying to do, he was eyeing for a split up top.
Yeah.
The tower was low though, so maybe that was the mindset. Probably.
Yeah, it could have been just a split second decision to be like, oh, I'm spotted, I gotta run, buy time. Because now, you know, he's back up here, but still, RSG's also gonna handle some of these waves a little bit longer, still work around that. So even given that play, the way that Lord unfolded and everything else, we're back to this portion of the game where, you know, it comes down to picks, because you got quite some time before that next Lord comes up.
Okay. So that is mischief managed by RSG too easily. I guess that Domeng just have to be... I think that was a play that NEXTPLAY EVOS thought in their head that could be cool. Fortunately for them, they still managed to take the Lord. So at least the plan worked in a way, but it didn't work as intended. And a repeat, Brusco will not be able to find Light with no flicker whatsoever used.
Yeah, but Brusco right now has the immortality, has a flicker, and has all the ultimates ready. So for the side of RSG, they need to be careful with that, because the Light doesn't have immortality, right? It has been used, and probably if they have this window of depleting resources, this is isolation that they can do. But for RSG, the gold is on their side. Is this one way of saying that they have more edge against NXPE? Because that's 2 turrets remaining on their base, still with NXPE. So can we still call this an even game, regardless of whose side has the upper gold?
Yes. Yes, that's I think that's a fair judgment here, especially because we have now locked in when it comes to like XP on the jungler, so they're both level 15. All the items are there as well. I guess the only advantage for NEXTPLAY is the bottom lane.
That is huge. The Immortality is going to be popped here, so they give it a go. H2O trying to stay alive, going to get locked down. Winter Tranched as well. Still looking for the kill. They get Ding to flicker out. H2O survives with a Decimate on top of it. How did he survive that one? RSG coming out with a massive win on that play. Lord is up, and Ding is down for NXPE.
That is surely massive. Because of the fact that they just survived after the Immortality, that means that they can get back to the Lord and they have a man advantage. And not only that, ultimates were committed by NEXTPLAY EVOS. And RSG will now have full control of this unless Boyet says otherwise. We're going to be parking 3 members in here. Valentina up top. Might not be the best formation for NEXTPLAY, but they will still try to gamble.
Risk. They're seeing risk here. High risk, high reward, as they say. If NXP sees eyes on this one, Light is the first target, though.
No way.
Gonna get the lockdown in. Brusco now. Immortality gonna be popped here. He's gonna go down eventually. Emon grabbing the kill. Boyet, though, might still be looking to steal this Lord away. Ding is now up as well, so we're back to the 4 versus 5 Lord dance.
They're making it work.
RSG just not letting go of the Lord. They're not bursting down the Lord the moment that they saw Boyet, though. That's the go signal. Nats.
They give it a go.
Way too early. It's not. It's just more than enough. RSG gets it.
And they celebrated with a jump. That's the zone out of Nats. Nobody committing to contest it at all.
Well, that's the big thing, right? I mean, you win a lot of those minor decisions there for that Lord dance, and then at the end of it all, Light still had the Divine Judgment. They had to respect it. They still had the Black Dragon form too. And that's why NXPE just decided to call it back. They should be able to defend at least somewhat here. They will most likely lose this mid lane turret. We'll see if they can hold on to the others. There's going to be the charge up from the Lord here. Now the work's cut out for them. Look at the damage, though.
Oh, look at that appeal.
From Exord. They got to respect it. Now the bottom side going to be worked on. H2O leading the charge. Still working on the Lord here. It's going to finally go down, but Emon cleans up that bottom turret. NXP losing 2 inhibitors. Hook not going to connect.
No overcommitment or what so for NXPE. They want to clear the waves as they have the potential to do so. Well, it's still going to be Brusco's thing, right? The iron hooks, so crucial. Who's going to make it? But Boyet makes the first move.
Oh, look at Light. He has the target in mind. He's going to grab him, but he's a little too far extended. Immortality going to be popped here. Naf jumps in, still looking for Ding. They get the Immortality plus the turret, and RSG backs off. They're happy with that.
Oh, Winter Truncheon usage is coming up from RSG. So good to look at. And even H2, at the first sign of trouble, when there was a jump coming up from NEXTPLAY, he immediately pops the Winter Truncheon. And that allowed them to be able to push top lane. Eman was just way too good at his positioning. 4-0 with 10 in 23 minutes.
Ow.
Are you kidding me? And even Exhort utilizing his Winter Truncheon so that he himself will not be put to rest. Imagine this. 2 heroes that should be suffering from the Lapu-Lapu. No deaths from both of them, while Ding is 0 and 5. Talk about how they manage to counter what should have been their counter.
Oh, looks like RSG is all prepared for all of these setups, all the contingencies running on their mind right now. They know what's coming. They know what could be the possible threat late game. We're in the ultra late game, and RSG is still on the lead, which could still be an even game, but we're leading to RSG's way of having damage. Now, with this onto the table, we're checking out Doming's damage up against Eman. Currently, Eman is on top of the charts. Who could have additional damage here for NEXTPLAY EVOS? Do they still have the teeth to bite the health of RSG in terms of team fights?
For sure. This is an even game. The only problem that they have, though, is map control. Because the lanes will be pushing heavily against them. All of the minions are enhanced from all the lanes of RSG. So when it comes to actual team fights, whoever commits a mistake will lose the battle. But when it comes to macro control, RSG can utilize all of these minions so that the advantage of the positioning will be theirs. And it seems like NEXTPLAY would be considering bursting this Lord down.
Yep, nobody from RSG speaking in the window. And as Wolf mentioned, the macro game is present for the Raiders because there's no turrets left to defend the base. So they could either split the responsibility of NEXPLAY EVOS on who to take. Will it be the Lord? Will it be the Clear? Because now Boyd is still the one here, and NEXPLAY EVOS is waiting for the right mistake of RSG. The question is, I'm just leaving the table. Will they have that, or will they be able to do that mistake because they have eyes on what the possibility could happen? This spot, the only spot one. Boyd is just here. They're keeping it at bay, but there's a call for Light.
Light's gonna go in with a conceal. He's gonna get spotted out. Domeng with a flicker. Quick response. Boyd can find Light though. So Light's in trouble. Goes down. Now Nas amidst it all. Emon unleashing, waiting for the moment. Brusco with the lockdown, the bloody hunt. But it's not gonna be enough just yet. Exort now following up on Boyd. Emon, bottom side, gets the immortality, uses the blazing duet. They find Brusco, but Domeng and Ding still alive. But it's a 4 versus 2 to an exposed base.
Ooh, what a play.
Look at the sustain from that team fight. Not even Domeng can get through the armor of H2 or even Nats, and just keep on going.
Oh, the feathered airstrike comboed with the decimate. And that looks like it's going to be it. RSG Philippines still looking to dominate in the series as they take game number 3. GG RSG.
And just as that, they prevented. They said, let's make it a reverse sweep, not saying no. And this is just them trying to learn new things. And RSG finding the right rhythm up against NEXPLAY EVOS.
Emon was just so clutch in that last set of events, right? You saw that he was already jumped by Brusco. He held his ground. His teammates were there all the time. Exort popping the feathered airstrike at the last moment with a stun. And I think that was really